Hello and welcome to another segment of Design Make Play Show. My name is Arian, I'm the designer at DesignMakePlay, and today we're going to talk about 7 principles of design in design industry. Have your pencil and paper ready? Let's get started. So when we talk about these 7 principles of design, we're talking about the rules that we have to follow to get the result that we want in our designs. These rules are necessary to use in any sort of design: industrial design, art design, graphic design, web design, any sort of design world that you guys think of. So now let me demonstrate the first principle of design called pattern. So pattern is regular arrangement of shapes. When you see pattern like wood pattern or metal pattern, these are all patterns, right? So I'm going to make an example in more simple way. So I'm just going to try to draw shapes that's going to arrange in the same way. So I'm just going to draw one triangle, one up, one down, and then put circles in them like that. So if I try to copy these arrangements again and again, if I put them all together, that creates a pattern. There are all sort of different patterns in design world. So number 2 is contrast. So what is contrast? Contrast is highlighting the difference between two things or between two shapes. So for example, light and darkness, or a really organic shape and really more pointy shape like a triangle and a circle. Or you can go even more further than that, like an old car and a brand new car. These are all make contrast. So I'm going to make an example on my computer, really more simple way of explaining contrast. For example, if I have this circle, and have one side of it totally black, and one side of it white. So the darkness and the light is creating contrast. Or as I said, really organic shape and a triangle and a circle. This is creating a contrast. Number 3 is emphasize. So what does that mean that you're emphasizing on something? So emphasize is when you want to put attention on a specific thing. For example, if you have a bunch of circles in a paper and all of a sudden there is a small square in between them. So that's when you emphasizing on that square. So you're grabbing all the attention of your audience to that specific thing. Or for example, everything is in red and all of a sudden there is a blue dot in between. So you're grabbing the attention of your audience to that blue dot. So emphasizing is another technique we use in design world. So I'm going to make another example for emphasize in design world. For example, I have a really fun one in here. So I have a bunch of people having a neutral face, like a poker face. I'm going to copy them all. All of a sudden, I'm gonna have one of the guys having a big smile on his face. So what I'm doing here is I'm emphasizing on the guy that having a big smile on his face. So our attention go towards him. Number 4 is balance. Probably you guys all know about balance. Balance is when two objects or two things are arranged symmetrically. So I'm gonna do an example in here too. So triangle, another triangle in here, another one. And another one like this. So this looks like balance, right? I'm gonna do another one, 2, 3. This looks balanced. Number 5 is proportion and scale. So proportion and scale is the relationship between the shapes and the objects. For example, when we talk about proportion and scale, we talk about how realistic it is for our audience. For example, if I try to draw, let me put an example for you guys. If I want to draw a human body, I can't have his head so big and his hand so small. So I have to follow some rules, proportional rules, that I get the best results. So number 6 is harmony. So what is harmony? Harmony is arrangement that makes all the shapes as a whole. So one of the really good example of harmony, when you go in nature, in jungle, in desert, in anywhere that related to nature, you can see a lot of harmony. Harmony is actually used in music. When something sounds harmonic to you, it feels good and feels that everything really goes well together. So in design world, we have harmony too. So I'm gonna have some example for you guys for harmony. So if I have a circle in here, I have triangles pointing towards a circle. This is a really simple example of harmony, or even these ones. I'm gonna make a few examples of harmony. Last but not least is number 7 is rhythm and movement. So what does that mean? So in design board, we have to have rhythm and movement too. In our drawings, in our film, in our photography, it should have some movement in it. So that was the 7 principles of design. Hopefully you guys can use these principles in your future work. Remember, you guys have to continue working on these principles so that it comes to you unconsciously. So whenever you're designing something, you know that it should be balanced, it should be harmonic, it should follow all these rules to get the best results. My name is Arian, I'm the designer at DesignMakePlay, and hopefully you guys have a great day and take care.